Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler with me, MuHerd37. So our last flight, we were in the 757, and we were a little north of Boston. Actually, I had another pilot take the plane to Boston, and earlier I tried to do two jobs. The first one, we were taking two at the same time. One, we were dropping off in Pittsburgh, and then heading to Atlanta with the other one. Both were originating in Boston. And so I filmed it, everything going to Pittsburgh. We landed and everything, and on the way to Atlanta, the computer crashed, and I had saved Air Hauler when we were in Pittsburgh, because that's why I was worried about Air Hauler. And then when the computer crashed, I lost my whole recording of the voice and everything. I could only have the video, and I said, well, screw that. So now we're in Pittsburgh. We still got the cargo for that. So sorry, you're not going to be able to see going to Pittsburgh. It was actually a pretty good flight. I actually screwed a bunch of stuff up in the beginning. It was horrible, but then had a really good landing, actually. It's one thing I've been trying to work on, is that freaking landing. This was a lot better. Let's go this way. Oh, one thing I'll also show you. If you remember, we took out that loan, that $10 million loan. I just paid that back. I was showing in the other video, but now you're not going to be able to see it. So it's all gone. We've got $43.4 million in the bank, more than enough to cover our expenses, which I believe in the next day or two. Today's the 27th. So let's go over to my jobs, and we'll get this thing going. Let's delete that. We don't really have to mess with this, but I will. Just so we can see how far we're going. KPIT to Atlanta. KATL. So 457 miles. So it should be a pretty short flight. We've got plenty of fuel. So let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. Alright, everybody, here we are at the plane. Here in Pittsburgh. Not a whole lot going on. Boston was actually, there's a ton of stuff going on in Boston. Let's go ahead and see if our parking brake is on. If I can get my views straight. Alright, parking brake is on. Turn these lights on. Control E to start it up. Alright, as soon as we get our power, bring up the panels. Alright, there we go. Bring this over here, make it a little smaller. Alright. So we're in Pittsburgh, so we're going to go KPIT. Down to Atlanta is KATL. Alright, we're going to be taking off on runway 10 center. Alright, activate, execute. So we'll carry 5 in reserves. Our cruising altitude will go to 32,000 feet. And use the cost index of 75. Execute that. Alright. Let's make sure we got 10 center. Alright, it is 10 center. And for our arrival, we're going to be landing on runway 28. LS 28. There it is. And execute it. Man, in that first video, the beginning was so rough. I actually accidentally went in and hit the star and everything, and our thing was so screwed up. It took me forever to figure out what the heck was going on. Never put in the star when we've already got it. Alright. Gonna go over here to our approach, get this in. Of course it'll change. Alright, back to legs. That's all we need. We need to turn off the center fuel pumps. So go turn those off. Let's go ahead and get our pushback. Our runway is actually right over here. I actually landed on the wrong runway. We were supposed to go on 28 center, and I ended up on 28 left. The way it brought me in, I didn't have much time to react, turn off the autopilot and everything, and I had to make a decision which runway to land on, and I accidentally went on left. Oh well. Alright. Shift P for the pushback, turn off the parking brake, and let's start getting this set up. 32,000 feet is where we're going. Alright. We are taking off on runway 10. I'll put this to 250. It's so weird, this plane will not... It's like... Instead of staying at 250, it'll go up to like 300 and then come back down to 250. I really don't understand what this thing's problem is. But whatever. Oh, we need to probably fix some of this. There we go. I said Jubba. Was there 2 Jubbas? No. So everything should be good. Come here. Step through this real quick. And right into Atlanta. So that's good. Shift P to stop. I knew we had to be getting close. Alright. Taxi lights are on. Idling. Alright. Taxi right over here. It's a really short taxi. Gotta love that. Oh. He's probably going to the wrong runway. Yeah, see? Almost to the runway already. Hopefully we'll get out of here before this guy makes his way down to the other end. Make our turn. I find turning this plane seems to be extremely hard. I don't know if it's just that this plane is such a long plane or what. I wouldn't think it would be like longer than the 777 or the 747, but it just seems really, really long. And it seems overpowering too. Like when we're idling, you know, this thing will go 30, 40 knots just idling. And when we take off, the nose keeps coming up. I have a real problem with that. And then the plane just... The speed is just insane. Not sure why. Let's turn on a flight director. Auto throttles. LNAV and VNAV are armed. Set the flaps to 15. Let's actually stop right here. Brakes to RTO. I'm going to trim this down. Alright, landing lights on, strobe on, taxi lights off. Let's go get on the runway. Might just do a rolling takeoff. See if I can lower that. There, I can see better. Yeah, there's that guy going way down there. I'm gonna wait until we actually hit the black area before we just go ahead and take off. It was snowing on our arrival. It's kind of made it more fun. Alright, let's advance the throttles and get out of here. Alright, we'll push down on the yoke to help keep that nose down. Alright, thrusts are set.
80 knots. V1, rotate. V2, positive rate, gear up.
Gear up. And look at the speed, even though we put the nose way up. Flaps 5, 1, but it just keeps climbing and climbing. I have to bring back on the power, but man, this thing just wants to go. Now we actually need to go to the right. No, you can't see it. Okay, I don't know if it'll take over here or not. Alright, it is. So we can take a look out here. Alright, flaps are up. I don't know why we can't see much of Pittsburgh. I'm not sure if the city's back over here. I mean, it's obviously Pittsburgh's fairly big. Oh no, there it is. Wow, it's did I just see a bunch of buildings over there? I'm not sure. Be way away from the airport. Well, it did better holding this time. Last time it went up to like over 300 knots. And then came back down. I just really don't get why it does that stuff. Get off the camera movements. Alright, let's come down here. Extend our range to 80 nautical miles. Alright. Move this over here out of the way. Alright, well, everything's looking good so far, so I think we should just go ahead and speed it up, and I'll be back in just a bit. Alright everybody, slowing it down as we cross 10,000 feet, turn on our landing lights. Alright. So I've got auto brake set to 3 because this plane, notice it doesn't really slow down that well on the when we touch down. So I put it on 3 and I think it does a little bit better. It just takes a really long time to get this thing slowed down on the runway. Not really sure why. Let's get this thing slowed down. To 170. Alright, so at Jubba we're trying to hit 2,700 feet. That's what I've got it set at. And we need to check, I want to check the airport. I don't know the elevation of the airport. It really sucks that the FMC on here doesn't tell us. It does on all the others. Alright, elevation 1,026 feet. Alright. Let's make sure I checked it just a little bit ago. Sorry, 128 knots still is our landing speed. So in the last video, I tried to arm the spoilers and that actually engaged the speed brake. If you saw in the last video, like as we went to land, I looked down and I had the speed brake was. I was like, "What the heck?" That was because I was trying to arm the spoilers, but it actually engages this. All right, we're under 240 knots, so we can actually go ahead and put out our first notch of flaps. At 220 we can do our second notch. We're sitting at 1,400 feet. Which is kind of one of the reasons we can't slow down. Let's make it 1,200. Man, that scenery looks awesome. That's just FTX Global. I still haven't updated my textures. I've missed like the last one or two of the libraries. I should probably do that. By the way, I think the south just got blasted with snow again. Alright. Flaps to 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for landing, please return all seat backs and tray tables to their
Still just at 200 knots.
Ensure all portable electronic devices are turned off and stow all carry-on items. Additionally, footrest and video monitors must be returned to their original position. Thank you.
The airport is third-party airport. I can't remember the name of it right off the top. I'm not sure if it's like Imagine Sim or Flight Beam. I can't remember who makes it. Of course, put a link in the description for you. Alright, we can slow our descent. Let's get rid of this. Alright. So we're 7 miles out from Jubba. I don't know how far it is there from there to the airport. It looks like maybe 4 or 5 miles. That's why I wish it would put the runway and then we could actually know. Not sure why it does that. And it brings us in too close. I'm really not, because you can see the airport. It doesn't give us a whole lot of time for the localizer and the approach and everything. It's kind of annoying, really. Alright, flaps to 15. still need some drag. Let's go ahead and drop the gear. Kinda early, maybe. Alright, here comes our speed. I'm actually going to cut off the auto thrust here in a second. See, we're so close to the airport, it does not give us time. Alright, a little more flaps.
Flight attendants, please be seated for arrival.
Alright, we'll hit the localizer, although it's probably not going to be able to capture it yet. The approach, it actually says yeah, we're a little low. I don't know what is up with the floating stuff. So runway 28, there should only be one of them. Apparently, I guess that's us over here.
1,000.
Where are we going exactly? Killing the autopilot, obviously. What in the world is going on here? Where is our runway? What in the world? I don't see any lights for us. Unless it's right over here on the far left. It's supposed to have ILS. I don't see any ILS on the instruments. Man, that hurt. I don't like not knowing how high and how low I should be. Alright, we're at full flaps.
400.
After we drop our speed a little too much. Can't really tell if we're high or low. Feels like we must be a little high.
300.
What's our speed?
Approaching minimums.
Oh, maybe we do. Oh no, it's not lights.
200.
We're too high.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, I screwed up. And that sucks. That was a rather crappy landing by me. $80 knots. Ah, man, that landing sucked. Came in and floated it. That was my bad. Of course, who else would it be? That sucks, 'cause I really wanted to nail it. I didn't.
So please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign.
That's aggravating.
At that time, please remember to check around your seating area in the seat
Alright,
pockets.
let's kill the
Overhead
landing
bins
lights,
for all
taxi
personal
lights,
belongings brought on
pull the
board.
strobe, turn on the
Please take
APU,
care when opening the overhead bins, as the contents may have shifted.
hit up ATC. Man, that sucks. It was a crappy landing. Let's go to the gates.
Atlanta ground, Boeing, November 75851, request taxi to the gate. Boeing, November 75851.
That looks like a long one. We picked the wrong runway. That sucks. I really wish I would have picked a different runway. Get rid of this flight director. Yeah, that was a disappointing landing. Man, I really wanted to stick that landing. It just... I came down and I pulled up too soon. And then that just screws everything up, because then you're floating and you can't really flare. But you're still pulling up on the stick, so I'm sure it'll look ridiculous in the replay. Like some of them have looked. Where we come in and we're pitched, and then we pitch up like even more. That'll look bad. That sucks. Really need to work on some of these landings. It's hard to get yourself to practice stuff though when you just want to fly, you know? Make videos and fly. There are some good tools out there to help though, but I don't know. Whoa, getting a little quick. Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have picked this far out runway. When we came in, I was just like, where is this thing going? Because you couldn't see any lights on the runway. It's like all the other runways have lights. We, for some reason, picked that one. About 34 knots, slow it down. Haven't done too much flying though this week. I had a heck of a day today. I had a presentation to start off my day. Right after that, I had to have a international finance exam, which ended up not being as bad as I thought. I thought I was going to get absolutely just destroyed by it. Because he showed us the practice exam in class, and it was just like, oh my god, when did we study any of this? When did we do math problems like that? But when we actually took the exam, I didn't think it was quite as bad. I'm sure I did not ace it. I would hope to get a B, I don't know. Maybe I'll screw even that up, but it just wasn't quite as bad as I thought it would be. Still not fun. So this Atlanta, I think, is an old version too. Alright, let's go ahead and cross. I wish it had static aircraft. Or at least, you know, if the airports, if they're using planes that move around, which is cool when the planes move around, why can't they be like... That was a weird dip. Why can't they be, you know, third-party aircraft? Why do they always have to be stock? I hate that. Looks so much better, you know, when it's got like third-party aircraft moving around and stuff. I'm sure they'll put us, you know, furthest away as well. Alright, let's check this one. I don't see anyone down there. Hey, you can't move that visor. Alright. Keep on going. Let's see where they put us. Well, I could just like go to any jetway I really want, or any gate I really want. That's what I did at Pittsburgh. When we pulled in, it was going to take me around the building. I was just like, why go around the building when I can just park right here with the rest of these guys? So that's what I did. I was kind of surprised at Boston. There was a bunch of airplanes around me when, at the gate in Boston. It's like I like having a bunch of aircraft, but at the same time, I don't know, it hurts performance. Then they get in the way because we're not using ATC. If you're using ATC, it's not so bad because they keep everybody out of the way, but when you're just coming in like this, you can't really do it. Alright. It seems like we should be about there. I don't see any jetways. I think it said something about you have to turn up the something to get the jetways to appear. I can't remember now that I think about it. Can't really remember. It's not the best looking airport, but like I said, I think it's an old version. Alright, get over here and turn. I know somebody just put out a Toronto airport. The Toronto airport, man, that thing is just unbelievable looking. I think it's FS Dream Team. FS Dream Team, man, their scenery is just unbelievable. They've got to be one of the best out there. Alright, let's park right here. Turn on our parking brake. Cut the fuel. Turn off those landing lights. Turn these off. APU's running, but that's all we're going to mess with. Alright, so I'm not going to mess with anything other than what we already did. So let's just go ahead and move on over to Air Hauler and get paid. Alright, we'll go ahead and unload this. And this job is finally done. Should have had this done hours ago. I don't know why the computer blue screened on me. It's got to be voltages. I hadn't restarted it in a little bit. That's like, I think that's like the first ever job I've ever done without it being recorded. So that kind of sucks because it ruins that. Come on, Air Hauler, getting slow. Let's see. Nah, I probably won't be able to find it. There we go. Landing fee in Pittsburgh. DVD, was that Blu-ray DVDs? I can't remember what that is. 206 grand. And then delivered this 197 grand. 1100 to land in Atlanta. Man, 4,200 bucks to land in Pittsburgh? It's kind of ridiculous. But now we're at our base in Atlanta. Hopefully, we'll have some good paying jobs like that. And longer jobs. You'll probably want longer jobs. I like the shorter ones myself. Helps me out a lot. That pays the best. 379 grand. 1,000 miles. Long runway. ILS. That's always nice. And look at all these. Frankfurt, 4,000 miles. Madeira, 3,000. Osaka, 6,000. Gotta go fly clear across the United States. Paris, 3,800. Let's get the long ones over here. Well, St. Martin, but it don't pays like less than 8 grand. There's no way you can do that. Only 1,300 pounds though. But it may spawn some new jobs next time I start it up. I'm not sure. But anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed this episode. I'll catch you on the next flight.
50.